It's the National Football League on EA Sports, and today's clash of conferences is just moments away. It's the Vikings and the Jets, next on Madden NFL 22.
Well, we are about a $50 cab ride away from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford. A few minutes ago, the hometown Jets were introduced to this sellout crowd, and it's a roar that could be heard across the river in Manhattan. They're set to go as their Jets will match up with the Minnesota Vikings. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. CD, you look at the Vikings coming into play. They've got to be thinking, hey, we've got a good chance to be successful here running the football.
No doubt about that, because that has to be their mindset. It should be their mindset. This is one of the better rushing offenses in the league, and they're squaring off against a team that's not at all strong on the other side of the ball. So this could be one where we see this offense try to impose their will through the trenches, and in fact, they should.
The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. On the return, it's Jordan Lewis. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3 quarterback.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it, because they ran the ball some, they threw it accurately. One touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. In there on the first down completion. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. But just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. Here's Ronald Jones, first carry for the USC man. Nothing doing on 2nd and 3rd down after that 9-yard gain on 1st.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And we'll see what he can do on the return.
This is unbelievable.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. From the gun, it's again to Cook. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, you know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. Touchdown, Vikings! Justin Jefferson, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. I think it's fair to say there's nothing that gets a crowd to its feet quite like a big play, and that was something special there. Boy, was he moving.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
Extra point right down the middle, and it's now a 7-0 game. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And here's Lewis. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
Here we go.
Back onto the field come the New York Jets for their 2nd drive. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. He'll drop this underneath for Jones. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. On 2nd down, it's Jones. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And that is incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. And the Vikings taking the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left. We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Third down, Dalvin Cook. A beautiful fake. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. So a nice run right there. And worth mentioning, their usual starting running back out this week. The hope is it's just a short-term absence. But this is where it pays, Charles, to have a quality reserve that you can turn to when you need him.
And to me, they definitely have that, because this is a guy who's more than capable of picking up the slack. and he's likely going to see a big share of carries as this one progresses. And how many times do we see running backs jump into the breach and have big games?
They'll run on first down. Cook, and he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down. There are the numbers for Cook from a week ago. Very productive. 3 touchdowns, 2 of them on the ground, 1 through the air.
And it will always be a compliment to say that a guy's got a nose for the end zone, and he sure had it last week.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They'll run with Scott. They juked him. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. He'll look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Bryce Callahan. And a return across midfield into the 46-yard line. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Caught by Jones. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. We've seen quite a bit of a short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
The numbers for Adams in last week's game. 5 catches, 95 yards.
And in doing preparation for the game, you notice where guys rank in the league in terms of statistical categories. He's 4th in the league in receiving yards. That caught my attention in a positive way.
They go play action here on first down. And a dangerous throw there, incomplete. He threw that into coverage. It was nearly intercepted. On second down now, it's Jones. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. He'll drop to throw. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down. Gonzalez's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx it.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterback that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Back to throw. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. Carl Lawson able to record his 5th sack of the season.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Now back to throw. He'll dump this off to Cook. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. That'll bring up 4th down. They wind up getting 8 yards, but they needed more than that.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
That was tight right there.
The Vikings send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
On 2nd down, it's Jones, and he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down. Back to throw here. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The sack coming from big Dalvin Tomlinson.
It's a sack.
It seemed like he kept going through those progressions, and I thought he might dump that underneath, but he couldn't get rid of the football in time.
And I have to wonder if he was thinking while he was back there, I wish there were a lot less progressions on this play, just someone that I can dump the ball to and get it out of my hands.
Here's Braden Mann now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. That's pulled in at the 32. A 39-yard punt, a return of 5. So here are the Vikings to take over. They were losers to the Packers a week ago, but they've got the lead right now here as they come up on a 1st and 10. On play action, they'll throw. And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. The play action fake, they'll look to throw. They're going for Jefferson downfield. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. They'll look to throw. He's going to get this one down to Cook. And he'll go down to the ground at the 39, and obviously that's well short of the 1st. That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there.
We can make this one pretty simple. Lock up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
The Vikings send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
The Jets offensive unit ready to get going here. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Dalvin Tomlinson able to get him for a loss of about 3.
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall. They could put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play, but perilously close to the goal line.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And indeed, that's what they'll do as they run it here. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down. Well, they did go run, so you were right. Maybe a little more breathing room for 4th down.
Well, no one wants to be accused of playing it safe, right? But instead, they would just reverse it and say, we're playing it smart.
Here's the Jets punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. A 40-yard punt, no return. And the Vikings will be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. A good job in the passing game. Decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. You run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot that they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped.
Let's go! Let's go!
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Now a run with Cook. And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. 46 yards on the ground for him so far.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. Now Scott. And despite the fancy footwork we saw, they'll get to him just inside the 15. The Vikings on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3. Handoff comes to Cook. And boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. The ball's still a few inches shy of the marker after the 3-yard run, so now a little soul searching on 4th down. Now the Vikings will send out the special teams crew here for a field goal try. And his kick is indeed good. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3.
So a nice kick there as they add 3 to the lead.
And from what I've seen so far, Brandon, I think they've been the better of the two teams here in the first half. So even though you want the touchdown, I think that's a nice job there to put 3 points on the board.
This will come out to the 25 as Lewis going to opt to not return it.
Back on offense, New York gets set to take over. Just a lone field goal for them so far, trailing 10-3 as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air.
This one swung out here to Jones.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
ball at the 24 and a 2nd and 11.
They'll set up to throw. Looking deep for Adams. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. Big yardage that time for the Jets.
We saw this plenty last year in college. He loved to take his shots downfield, and that throw, that was a thing to behold there.
I'm really not sure what was more impressive about that throw. Was it the distance travel or the accuracy involved? Because I'm going to tell you straight up, when you're trying to hit a guy in stride that far downfield, there's nothing easy about it. But he sure made it look easy there.
They're going to look to throw.
Throw left side, caught by the tight end, Njoku. Not much there, only a yard.
Let's just make this one simple. Could he be any more open than he was on that play?
And they lost him going to the outside.
Hard to believe because you go through your accounting on each and every defensive snap. Who's got who, what defense you're in. That was totally a blown coverage.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. And that sack brings up 4th and goal, a loss of 7. Big play.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. Gonzalez's kick is good. That'll bring him back within 4. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. Dalvin Cook taking the field for the Vikings' next possession.
He's over 40 yards here in the 2nd quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable. And really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. And he's going to have just a couple here with a marker on the field as well. That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL.
Now a throw here, hauled in.
And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll drop to throw.
That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And complete, right side to Cook. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. They'll look to throw here on first down. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Man open, that's Kiki QT, complete. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Back to throw now on first down. And this is Cook with a grab. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense.
Oh, what is that?
So they will accept the penalty and move forward. So now a fresh set of downs. 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. They'll set up a throw. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. I'll let you do the analysis, partner, but with every touchdown pass his young quarterback throws and with the success that his team has had, I just continue to be more and more impressed.
Let's both do the analysis. Impressed. Aren't we both?
Yeah.
I mean, and why shouldn't we be? We've seen him improve throughout.
And I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How is the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Point after, right down the middle, and that pushes the lead up to 11. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will come out to the 25 as Lewis going to opt to not return it. Marching back onto the field now, Devontae Adams and company getting set to go. And CD, assuming he stays healthy, assuming the health, should get to that 1,000-yard mark pretty easily.
And the best part of what he's done so far is it allows him and the team to relax their pursuit a little bit. Meaning, if they just have normal games, they'll get to the 1,000-yard mark. They don't have to force anything. But one of the reasons he's having the year he's having is what I call route running arrogance. They think there's no one that can cover them. No matter how many people are put in his direction, it just doesn't matter. He's going to find a way to beat them. And so far this year, he's done exactly that.
He sure has. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. This time they stay on the ground. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. On is the punter man as he boots this one away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. The final second ticks by, and that's going to do it for the first half of play. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in a minute, but first, let's take a spin around the NFL and see what's going on here in week number 10. We'll get things started up at Ford Field in Detroit. And as you see, they were winners back on Thursday night. Cedric Wilson, 2 touchdown catches in the victory. From Motown, we'll take the trip across Lake Erie to Cleveland to check in on the Browns at home at First Energy Stadium. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Philadelphia Eagles. 2 touchdown passes there for Teddy Ballgame. Finally, let's get you to Baltimore. Check on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And you can see they trail the visiting Cowboys. Dak Prescott has thrown a touchdown pass. With that, we take a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Vikings. And the ground game has been a big part of why they have this big lead. And you have to figure they'll lean on it a little bit more in the third and fourth quarters. Meanwhile, for the Jets, they did not have the same kind of success on the ground. They struggled to get the run game going to this point, as you see there.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. From the 6. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. And the Vikings set to go on offense to begin the third quarter. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he's got this to Jefferson. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. That's to Cook out of the backfield. A good rally to the football keeps him to only a yard, and it's 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
2nd and 9 now. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. The former 3rd overall pick, Quentin Williams, there to bring him down.
Enough to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise there in the dime. He'll look to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the 1st. Oh, they stopped him shy of the marker, thought they were bringing up 4th down, and then that penalty.
Let's face it, they thought they had bent, but could absorb that, right? Instead, they broke as a result of their own penalty.
A little bit of space there for Cook that time as he winds up getting about 7 there on 1st down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
2nd and 3. His throw caught at about the 5. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5.
That was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
They'll run with Cook. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. Out of the gun now on third down. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. A great effort there. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Vikings take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. There was a lot of zip on that pass, and baseball might have called that a frozen rope.
I like it when you bring the diamond into the game. I'm going back to the gridiron. Had some heat on that bad boy. Sometimes you throw a touchdown pass, and sometimes
you throw, what, a touchdown strike?
There you go. That's my man, in concert.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is up to 18 now. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will come out to the 25 as Lewis going to opt to not return it. Here's the Jets offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down?
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature and make sure you don't get hurt.
And he is going to have a Jets first down. They needed 3. He doubled 6.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Back to throw. And that's incomplete.
Another attempt, another incompletion, and when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points, and the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he'll have a Jets first down as good running gets him to about the 44.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Here's a give to Carter, and he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. And incomplete on the deep ball. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He has been consistent, hasn't he? He played well in the first quarter, good second quarter, and now continuing that here in the third.
And that's the word that they're always seeking from the guy taking the snaps, is consistency. Taking care of the ball, making sure it gets to the right people, no errors, right? Not turning it over, and just doing all the right things. That's leadership, and it inspires confidence in a team.
Yeah, been a good leadership and a good distributor. Here's 2nd and 8. Throw left side, taken in by Jefferson. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
He'll drop to throw. Swinging this out wide here for Cook. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. On 2nd down, Cook. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 76 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Muscle damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They'll look to throw. He'll dump this off to Cook. So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And just like that, it's 3rd down. They'll look to throw here. Buying time to his left. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. We have played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking to add to that total as we begin quarter number 4. Running for it, here's Cook. A nice little juke. And he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. Dalvin Cook turned away on 4th down. And the Jets are going to get the football back. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st. 2nd and 4. And fights him off. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Well, you don't expect too many quarterbacks to be adept at breaking away from would-be tacklers, but this is uncommonly good right here as he's able to get away.
And that, in a nutshell, shows you what this guy's made of. I mean, most guys in the NFL just can't do that. He absorbed the contact, refocused himself, and made a break for the end zone.
Now back to throw. And, oh, that's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly their first pick of the game, but it does bring up 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Jets try it, but the 4th down play doesn't work. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Again, it's Cook. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. The Vikings on third down. Not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 7. On third down, it's Cook. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down.
Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense. And know what they say? Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. He'll have the win at his back here in the 4th quarter. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And that will stretch the lead up to 3 touchdowns now. It's a 21-point game.
So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
And here's Lewis.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
Let's go.
Another go-around now for the Jets offense.
They'll try and start this drive in the air.
Slant to Adams.
A gain of 6 there on first.
Working with a 2nd and 4.
They'll drop the throw. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. He'll look to throw. He's got his tight end, David Njoku. And he is going to have a Jets first down by about a yard. It's a gain of 5 on 3rd and 4.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Back to throw again. Drops it to Jones in the flat. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
Coming up on a 2nd and 6.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Fighting to stay upright, but he can't get away forever, and down he goes. Daniil Hunter, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has, but in his defense, he hasn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense?
In his defense, I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. The Jets try it, but the 4th down play doesn't work. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. So they've gone for it twice now on 4th down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a third situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. They run it again with Cook. And he'll get it down this time to the 17.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
They're going to look to throw. Open man here is Conklin. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10. Give to Cook out of the gun. Oh, what a move. And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down. The Vikings on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Vikings look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter.
The touchdown was scored by the runner, but the offensive line, they feel like it's theirs. They blocked that one up perfectly, allowed him easy access to the end zone.
Extra point right down the middle, and that'll increase their lead to 28. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it's capped off by the touchdown run coming from Dalvin Cook. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And here's Lewis. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. Now the Jets offense about set to take over as they head onto the field. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense? That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll set up to throw. Going back to Moore. This time he's got it complete. And he's able to get up here to the 26. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll set up a throw. Throw left side, caught by the tight end Njoku. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
He'll air this one out deep for Davis. That's to Davis. He's got it. Touchdown, New York. Corey Davis, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Jets are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. In today's NFL, we talk about quarterbacks and their speed and accuracy, but there's still something about a guy slinging one downfield.
And I'm telling you, nothing will let up a crowd more than a play like that. Here in the stadium, all eyes were on the receiver streaking downfield, and everyone was thinking, throw it, he's open. What a connection there for the touchdown.
Gonzalez able to tackle on the PAT, and that'll cut the lead back down to 21. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
They'll start by running the option to the right. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be second down. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2. They'll run for it. Cook. And try to push his way forward, but I think he's going to be short. And he is short. Dalvin Cook turned away on 4th down. And the Jets are going to get the football back. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. He'll drop this underneath for Jones. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. He's going to let it fly. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. It's a big play that time by the Jets. They'll look to throw again. This one swung out here to Jones. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Here's 2nd and 8. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete. Corey Davis, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down. He'll look to throw. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. So here we go. The offense is going to stay out there. They're going for it on 4th and 8. Back to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Victory formation time for the Vikings as they'll take a knee here. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory, and I think they might have something in this young rookie quarterback because he certainly looked the part.
I have to ask you a question. Are you thinking similar to what I'm thinking? That these rookie quarterbacks, they come in more prepared than ever before?
Year after year, they just seem more comfortable from day one.
I think you start really young now. These quarterback coaches, they play against a better competition. They go to camps across the country. Then they play big-time games in college. So when they get to the NFL, it's not quite the same, how would you say it, pressure that they felt in years past. And these kids just go out and perform.
And keep in mind, he led them to a road victory here, even more impressive. So for the Vikings, they continue to put themselves in position for a first-round bye as they move to 8-2. And they'll have another road date next week with the Miami Dolphins. Meanwhile, for the Jets, it was a game they really needed as they drop back to 4-6. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Jaguars in Jacksonville.